Well, hello again, YouTube. My name is Pat, and I'm going ahead and releasing off another little rant of mine with no script and just kind of off the cuff. And basically, this rant that I'm gonna have today is about like the PS3, and I really don't understand this. And like, I guess like I understand there's fanboys out there, and that's the reason why so many people are still buying this. But like, how do people not get that the PS3 is ultimately a flop system? I mean, it's the same as an Atari Jaguar. It's the same as the 32X for the Genesis. It's the same as a Virtual Boy. This console is a waste of money. It's going to be a shelf filler. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Sony's pulling funding from their advertising for it. They have absolutely no exclusive titles. There is no content for the game. That game, Fall of Man, I've played it. It's not that great. It's very mediocre at best. The only reason why they're getting outstanding reviews is because Sony took a large dump truck of money and dropped it off at every single like reviewer out there, like at their front doorstep, and that's how the business is working. If you don't know that, you're an idiot. I'm sorry to tell you, but I mean, look at Lynch and Kane. Look at what happened there, where a reviewer gave him a bad review after they paid for a bunch of advertising money on GameStop, and they got their ass fired. But like, Sony has no plans for this. What's gonna happen? And quote me on this, please. Like, I'm gonna leave this video up there, and even if I'm wrong, I'll leave this up there. But like, this is what's gonna happen. 2010 is gonna roll around. Microsoft's gonna go ahead and pull the sheets off their like Xbox version 3, and they're gonna have it come out. And right as the month that it's coming out comes up, Sony's gonna hop up and say, "Oh yeah, we've got a PlayStation 4 coming out," like right at the same time to go ahead and pull away from their sales, and like they're gonna go ahead and politely forget like that the PlayStation 3 ever existed, and they're gonna politely ignore like their little 10-year promise that this will be a system for 10 years, we swear. And like, no, it's not. Like they've got no titles, they've got like no support, it's impossible to program for, it's overly priced, it's a complete flop system. Like, if you're considering what systems to buy, don't ever get a PlayStation 3. I'm telling you, it is a waste of money, and that like it has no reasonable reflection of the market, and that basically what's happening is, since they have all this money set aside to throw at paying for reviews, that they're just pouring it in the small titles that they do have, like Resistance. And Xbox, of course, I'm not saying that's without flaws either. Like, they of course have the huge issue that I really didn't like myself, is that they ripped off a lot of people by selling like lemon systems, and I myself am included in that, and it's the most unreliable system out there. But even still, though, at this point, at least they have reliable systems out there, and that they have titles for it, and they have exclusive titles. But if you're really smart, you'd go out and get yourself a Wii. But a lot of people kind of flip flop on that one. Um, but yeah, I'm telling you guys, like, this thing is gonna be a joke. Like, 5 years from now, this is gonna be a joke. It's gonna be the same thing as a Virtual Boy or all that. It's gonna be covered in dust. It's gonna be never used. It's gonna be like a Saturn. Like, just don't get one. I'm telling you. In fact, this generation of consoles as a whole is pretty much sucking. But yeah. Um, Here's another thing though, to support my statement, and it's kind of backpedaling, I guess, but whatever. I'm not using a script here. Um, if you look back in the history of all console gaming, and I mean like all the way back, all the way back, before I'm talking Odyssey days out here. I'm talking Pong. Like, there's one universal rule that has yet to be disproven, and it's like a law of science, and that is the most expensive console on the market is the one that flops. It's absolutely true. Neo Geo flopped. Um, wow. I'm not really prepared to represent that statement, but I do know though that there is some truth of it. Like 3DO and Real Player and not Real Player. What was it? The Real System. That was an utter piece of crap. CDI. That was it. CDI. And all these systems that cost $600 over in Japan, they had the TurboGrafx 2 called the PC Engine something 16,000. Total flop. They want $2,000 for a hyped up a hyped up TurboGrafx is basically it. And like it never works, and they always try it. And I'm telling you, if like just if you're not gonna listen to me, look at history. Look at the history of consoles, and just know that the PlayStation 3 is gonna be a flop. and that everything else is just fanboy rhetoric. And if you want to make an educated like a decision on a purchase, that what you really should be looking at isn't the review of games. It should be the titles themselves. You should like look at the games that are out there and decide like what software you want to play, and that's how you should decide. And I wouldn't depend on these review sites because they're all just one big advertisement at this time. And from what it looks like, Nintendo's not playing ball because every time they're going ahead and releasing a title, like especially on X Play, oh god, that show's the worst. But like every time Nintendo has a review on these shows, it's like, oh, Nintendo has this in plans and it looks awesome. But then they always give them that little knife at the end, you know, like, oh, but we'll see if Nintendo can live up to their promises. And like, it's Nintendo. When have they not lived up to their promises? But yeah, I would just, if I were to put this down in one like sentence, this whole video here, that would pretty much be, I would think twice before buying a PS3. And I hope you're intelligent enough not to. And I really do hope the best for whoever's considering that for a purchase, but I don't think it's going to work out for the best for you. Anyways, that's about all I have to say. Y'all have a good day.